just of their life and where they want to be and what they want to do? Who? Anybody? Nobody feels they can do that. Nobody can say, I was born here, did that, did this, did this, this, this. I'm headed here and doing that. Nobody feels like. What?
Like those Oscar bait.
He's speaking about your own story.
Yeah, my own story. It's like it has a lot of sadness and.
That's okay.
Yeah. It's also very much exactly like those Oscar bait movies.
What are
What
Oscar?
am I talking about?
Like the sad but positive Oscar.
Oscar
nominees.
bait, as in they're made literally to be nominated for an Academy.
Okay, but I mean, I'm not worried about how they look or how they sound. I'm worried about you telling your story that says who I am, where I am, why this happened, what was good influence, what was bad influence, what mistakes I made, where I'm going and where I want to be, where I am now, where I want to be.
It's the where I want to be part that is an issue, because I kind of learned a few years ago to not yes, you have to have a direction, but you shouldn't force things if they don't feel right.
Yes, it should be a balance
Yes.
between goal
Yeah.
and opportunism. I've always been more opportunistic than goal oriented. In other words, well, I'm tired of this screenwriting shit. I'm going to go to Afghanistan and teach some people. I mean, I was looking for adventure. And sometimes I got. Oh boy, did I ever! But sometimes that is not great for your career vectors. And I can say at the end of my life, I've had a really interesting life. I've taught some cool people. Blah 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 blah. But have I gone? Have I become the king of the universe? No. Have I had a great time? Yes. But I mean, to me, there has to be a balance between, well, as Nietzsche said, the Apollonian and the Dionysiac, the real and the let's have a good time and enjoy things and take opportunities, Okay, but I'm very interested in people's stories if everyone has the guts to tell it. Because that's the important thing. If you can tell your story in an honest and forthcoming way that says where you've been, what you've learned, what the problems are, where you are right now and where you want to be, that's, boy, man, that's good. And you're right. It's not like I'll go jump off a building if I'm not president of the United States. But, it's nice to have a sort of like a shining light on the horizon.
No, for sure. But the reason I said that is because, for example, I went to business school, like I'm a finance major, and I had to stare at Excel spreadsheets all day, just calculating how to make
€1,000,000 and like your uncle and then return. I like that story, by the way. I like it.
And it just didn't feel like it was worth anything.
I understand. I was raised to be in business. My family were business. And when I looked around when I was 18 years old, and they're very rich. And I'm going, I don't see anybody here I want to be like. I don't see anybody. I don't, and I don't, yeah, it's kind of cool to ride around in helicopters and shit, but I like, and then, had a funny thing. I used to hang out with like the gardeners and people that worked, and I'd make friends with people and, in the townies, people from the towns where we go. And my mother would sort of say, don't you understand? These people, no. I said, well, I like them better than your friends. And I was sent away to boarding school. Boom. Yeah. So anyway, I get the joke. By the way, the uncle who's just gotten back is carrying on with his brother's wife. Huh?
Wait,
This uncle.
no, his sister's husband.
Oh.
They're best friends.
And are you the sister? Is the sister your mother?
Yeah.
Ooh, damn. That's good.
I had a weird ass.
Oh, baby, and you don't drink. Ha! Good for you. Well, something good came of it.
I'll give you an example.
Something good came of it.
I'll give you an example of just how absurd some stuff I've seen before. He got drunk once. So there was a party and he wanted to continue the party. The party goes on. So everybody wanted to go to bed. He leaves the house, doesn't come back. The next day we find him parked in front of the house in a weird way. He's passed out, blacked out and on the wheel. So we wake him up. They open the trunk, there's a fucking pig in there. How the fuck does one find a pig in Rabat? Like a pink ass
Wow. That's fun to think about.
Another thing, one day we go to a market. So he was obsessed with animals. We had an eagle as a pet, like goats, all kinds of birds. What? And one day he wants to graduate. He saw Michael Jackson had a fucking monkey and decided, I'm gonna do that. So one day it's just me and him. We go to like a weird ass place in Rabat, I don't remember. And we walking, I didn't know he was gonna buy a monkey. We walking, and then the dude who owns the store is literally fighting the monkey because he just trashed the place, and then he's like, I changed my mind. He's not good for us, and then we just walk out. Like, imagine just a panning shot of you walking into a store and
Someone's having a fight with a monkey?
Yeah.
I'd say a gorilla would be better, wouldn't it?
But yeah.
Oh, God. All right, that's good. I think your story is full of interesting ideas. Really, I do. I personally like the guy building a little villa on the corner of the property, because then there's sort of different worlds. But on the other hand, if you contain it in one thing, that has its own sort of, yeah. But that's good if you have a limited budget. But, I mean, I don't know. This is about you getting a horizon, seeing the way things are, I don't know. Cool. All right. Now, who is new? Who didn't sign up yesterday? Good God. You didn't sign up? Naughty girls. Anyway, so here we are. What's important here is that there's a mailing list here, and I'm on it. And you can send me, it would be very good for you to write a page or two. It's a very good story. This is very good, very, very good story. This thing about the guy, the admirer thing, there's good things there. There was some element of it that was sort of a prefigured bit in the story that I thought was a different movie. You didn't need it. Something about him at the outset. Anyway, I forgot. So tomorrow, and look, you can send these today, tomorrow, but if you want to talk about them in this class, I've got to have them by Thursday night. And we will talk, most of Friday will be this. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about the Enneagram. Remember I explained the Enneagram, this system of personalities, and what?
MBTI test, personality test. 16.
Yeah, it's a different system, but it has some of the same things, intuitive thing, But the Enneagram is an old Sufi system, with 9 personality types. The most interesting thing about it, actually, I'll tell you what's interesting about this. I've taught this to over 1,000 people in the CIA. Weird. It's a long and complicated story, but I ran a think tank in Los Angeles that did a lot of. We would use creative people. If you look under consulting here. Creative people in the room with people with a problem, and then they'd mix it up, just like creative people from the entertainment industry. And we did a lot with CIA after 9/11. And one of the things I taught, they also were very interested in screenwriting, so I gave these 3-day seminars. And one of the things I taught was the Enneagram, which is this thing that I'm thinking about teaching you, which is about 9 types. What's interesting about this is that in writing, people change. Characters change. So this system is a dynamic system where a person is a certain type, but you put them under stress and they start to become a different type. You support them, they get married and happy, supported, they start to display traits of a different type. So it sort of shows how people change in different conditions. So it's very helpful for a writer. Now, how do I use it? When I'm creating a character, I think, what is he? I don't think this way. I don't think, and I say, well, what happens when he's angry? Oh, he's this. Okay, he's 7. And then I read in the type, and it just helps me kind of get ideas creatively for making the character more fully developed. Now, it's also very helpful for people individually that are growing up, trying to figure out what the hell they're doing. It's helpful. It's helpful for people. It was used by Benedictine monks to determine what people were best suited to do. But so just superficially, I could go through the system. I do it with film clips. It's fun. We look at a lot of really good clips, very much shorter than the stuff today. And it would probably take a full class, but is there interest in that? But hands interest. Put your hands up in the back. No, you don't have to. Okay, well, I'll think about it. I may do an extra class or something because there's no, some people, again, I've taught this to a lot of people in CIA because they brought me there to teach it to people because here's what's happened. They go, oh, Osama bin Laden's a 5. Oh, well then, You can make scenarios with it.
I use it also in my film. This film affects you.
Okay, he uses it in his films. It's very helpful for me. I like it, but as I say, I've taught it to maybe a lot of people and writing students. And generally, about a third of them think it's it's cool. A third think it's shit. And a third are okay. But these systems are popular in post-colonial countries, like the French system, it's a system, and so it appeals to people in post-colonial countries.
For casting directors, I've seen some CDs like Bradley Cooper's. Cooper, he puts his Enneagram on his CD. He's a 7.
Sure is. So is Redford. A lot of 7s. In fact, you know what a 3 is? Does anybody know what a 3? Oh, you don't know this. A 3 is my wife says 3. Jesus. It's like I am what I do. Boom. And you do a lot. Right. But if you stress a 3 out, they go to 9. They can't make a decision. Do you remember? I don't know if anybody saw the picture of George Bush when the 9/11 had happened and these things ran into, the jets had run into the World Trade Center. And he's teaching kids in New Orleans, and he just sits there helpless. That's a stress 3. Anyway, it's kind of an interesting type. These are interesting types. It's very interesting to think this way. It would be something, I don't know. Again, let's have another show. Let me see how many people. Okay, we're getting support in the back. Okay, well, I'll think about it. All right, so tomorrow, here's what we're going to do. I encourage you to write. I encourage you to take some time writing these things.
I already sent the email, so they should have received.
Okay, now tomorrow we're gonna work on your stories too. I'm gonna finish up with a few more types, writer's toolbox, and then I'm gonna show you some stuff we're doing, and we can talk about that. Just because it would be interesting, like creatively, would you do this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye. And I'm sorry about the technology.
Before you guys go,
Let me try to see if I can work that deal.
Okay.
Because it would be much. I'll also
Sure, if you can work it, that's great.
I'll also bring like a speaker tomorrow.
Yeah, it'd be great. I mean, because it doesn't have. These are to learn from. It doesn't have to be perfect.
No. It'll work. I'm pretty sure of that. Just need to figure it out. Do you mind putting your finger on the thing for the password?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Has